Market Mondays this week, we have Mike Broadhurst join us. We talk about workforce housing, these horrible evictions at Chimney Cove. We deep dive into the Bluffton Numbers, and we dip into the mailbag. All right, Mike, so there's all kinds of conversations out there right now about, we'll call it affordable housing, workforce housing. There's an article that dropped last week about Bluffton's doing a new development that is catered to workforce housing. Mm-hmm. You know anything about it?
Yeah, they're going to build affordable housing for folks who probably otherwise could not buy into this market.
So it's homes to purchase?
Yes.
Okay, so not to rent?
No, these are purchase.
Okay, and how many of them? Any idea?
Are there 14, I think?
Yeah, I think something like that. So,
14.
You know, kudos that they're doing something, but I mean, it's not going to make a dent.
Yeah, and you know that the town has done this before. There's over at the corner of Robertson and Wharf downtown, they built 6 houses that were targeted for people within like a USDA program type of financing. So they've already used this model before. It's not a new idea, but what will be new is where they can put this.
Yeah, they got to scale this thing. Something's got to be done.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that goes to the other thing we were talking about, the Chimney Cove, right?
Yeah, so, you know, Chimney Cove, a couple days later, it comes out that basically everybody at Chimney Cove got eviction notices. And I think it's like over 300 families.
Yeah.
You go to, it says in an article, there's an article, I think, in the Island Packet, but, you know, it says in the article that you go to Chimney Cove during the day and nobody's home. And that's because those folks are all out working.
They're all out working. Yeah.
They're all out working, and they're providing the services that we all enjoy as full-time residents, but they're also servicing all the people that are coming here for once-in-a-lifetime vacations.
Yeah.
Right? They're essential.
Yeah. Yeah, if you live here or you have vacationed here, you go out to eat, you know, there's not enough waiters. There's not enough people working in the retail stores. Some of our stores have cut back their hours because they can't find help.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know, an affordable housing challenge. It's an economic challenge for the whole community, and the whole community really needs to be aware and maybe be a little more proactive in trying to find a solution for this.
Yeah. Again, I think that looking at this as a workforce housing issue kind of softens it. These people are essential to our economy.
Yeah.
And they're an essential part of our society, and we need to get really serious about scaling up some infrastructure to help these people. And you know, you and I were talking about it just before we turned the cameras on. Nobody wants affordable housing in their backyard. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We got to get over that. Mm-hmm. We've got to be committed to creating the best workforce housing, affordable housing that the country has ever seen, so that we're proud to have these hard workers living next door to us.
Yeah.
Got to change that mindset.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to not have to be complaining about their services, they need to provide the wherewithal for the people who provide the services.
Yeah. So we haven't talked about the numbers yet. We just jumped right into that issue. It's Bluffton this week. Can inventory get any lower?
Oh, the market's going to crash, Dan.
Oh, that's what I keep hearing, and so yeah, I'm starting to believe it because it's what everybody's saying. It's ready to crash, isn't it?
Well, you know, we've been together for a long time, and your dad and I even before that, and we've always been sort of numbers people. You know, maybe some people think we're a little bit geeky, but I remember back in 2006 when we were watching the market, and we saw inventory start to grow and demand start to slack off. We were saying this isn't a 1 or 2 year problem, this is a long-term problem. As a numbers person, I look at the numbers, we're not even anywhere close to that kind of scenario. As you say, inventory is down, of course sales have to be down, but as a percentage of how many properties are selling to how many properties are coming on the market, there's still lots and lots of demand.
I mean, last week, 8 properties came on the market in all of Bluffton last week, but 25 went under contract.
Yeah, think about this. I went on a listing appointment in Sun City, right? Now, this house is going to be a $600,000 house in Sun City. There are 8,000 homes, over 8,000 homes in Sun City. On Friday, when I looked at how many properties are on the market, 18.
It's unbelievable.
18.
It's unbelievable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the saber rattlers, the people that are looking for, you know, the excitement of a crash, so to speak, so they have something to talk about, they're focused on the fact that we have 18 and last year at this time we had 10.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what the difference is. But the demand, maybe in the luxury market, has softened a little bit. But, you know, time on the market is as low as it's ever been. We can confuse some of these numbers. What does a slowing market mean, right? I think when it comes down to it, in the back of all of our minds is property value. Mm-hmm. Is property value, like, is that the measure of a crash? Is a crash value going down? I have an asset that's worth $500,000 today. In 6 months, it's worth $400,000. What is the likelihood in your mind of that happening over the next year?
Over the next year, slim to none. I think what we're going to have is continued appreciation. It may not be in the 29-30% that we've seen in the last 2 years, but 7%, 8% easily.
Well, I mean, this last week we brought 8 properties on the market and we sold 25. You know, and that's not an anomaly. Last week we brought 26 homes on the market and we sold 38. So these numbers are moving in the opposite direction of a crash. So could we still see 20% appreciation, 30% appreciation?
I don't rule anything out.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Well, I'm putting you on the spot, I know. What's more likely? Prices going down or going up by 20%?
Well, I think prices going down is highly unlikely. Going up, I think you're probably more like 10%.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It could be 20%. Highly unlikely that they're going to go down.
Yeah, especially in the next year.
Yeah.
So we used to work together on the same team, and
Yeah.
then you stepped off, and you're now growing your own team, and you guys are killing it. You just, I think, set the record for the highest price residential sale.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So my team knew that I was going to be talking to you today, and a question they wanted me to ask you was, you know, especially the buyer team, they're working with buyers, and there are buyers out there right now are saying, hey, I don't want to buy right now because I don't want to buy at the top of the market. They wanted your advice. What would you say to that person?
Well, our team, we have lots of buyers also who are sort of taking that same position. What I would say is that before they give you that sort of response, start talking to them about why the market is not going to crash, why the housing is still affordable, why values are still going to go up, and why it still makes sense to buy now. Address these things before people actually bring them up. You're better off appealing to them with common logic prior to than having to fight an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so be proactive in your communication, I think is what you're saying.
Be proactive not only in your communication, but what you know about the market. Be an expert about the market.
So mailbag question this week. Denzel asks us, says he's a new agent in Orlando. Orlando's cool. Congratulations. And he watches the show. Do you have any advice for new agents like Denzel?
Yeah. Get out and introduce yourself to people. Make yourself known. Get involved with community activity. Do not be afraid to call people that you know. Use your sphere of influence. And know your market.
Good advice, good advice. Mine would be to join a team. I think that a good team has figured a lot of the nuance of transactions out. They can provide a lot of training. They can provide mentorship and opportunities. And I would say align yourself with a strong team that has a strong track record of helping new agents break into the business. That would be my advice. And thanks for the question, Denzel. And I think that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.